Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. It's just 12 Pacific Standard Time. Hope everybody's having a good start to their week. I know that I'm having a bit of a struggle again. Nothing's changed really much from last week. I was in a good mood on Friday, better mood on Friday than I was on Thursday, but I'm still kind of struggling just in general with what's going on in my life and where I am, and what's happening in in the world, just in general. Sorry, I'm going to turn my volume off. I'm getting a little bit of feedback here, so just bear with me here for a second. Just do this here real quick. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about meaning, because I know I think a lot of the time that we've been going through this COVID period has been a time of reflection for many people, and a time of questioning, not just what's happening around us, but what's happening inside of us too. As we're progressing our way through this and surviving. I mean, that's what we are doing, those of us who are here and watching. And again, thank you for joining me. We are moving forward in our lives, and we're getting older, of course. We are still searching. We're still searching for meaning, for the to the why, right? Why we're here kind of question, right? And I wanted to kind of refer back to Frankl's, Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, which was written after his experience in the Holocaust in the 40s. There's a quote that Frankl wrote. He said, he who has a why to live for, he who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. Okay? So how we live our lives, how we are living our lives, like right now when we're sheltering in place and we're self-quarantining and we're unable to interact, hug, feel, touch, if we're, separated from our kids, grandkids, friends, family, whatever. This is a really, really difficult how at the moment that we're living. The key here is to sort of find the why, right? Why are we living? Why are we going through all of this? Why are we doing all of this and sacrificing really for others in many ways? What I really kind of honed in on with what Frankl wrote was that we shouldn't actually search for some obtuse or abstract meaning in life, right? I think we really almost need to find a true why, okay? I think that Simon Sinek, who's a coach and pundit and sort of expert in this, says, find your why, right? Why do you wake up every morning? What's the purpose, right? What's the meaning? Basically, a lot of us think it's to pursue something, right? To find a meaning, right? To sort of find this obtuse, abstract thing. But the reality is that it's inside of us, right? It's actually already innately in us. We just have to listen and find it. And one of the ways that, we can live our why is to, stop playing by society's rules, right? So what are society's rules? Society's rules are you go to school, you get a job, you work till you're whatever age, you retire, you die, right? That's society's sort of prescribed rules, right? Well, who says that that's what we need to be doing? Who says that's what our why is? It's not for many of us. Artists, musicians, who are also artists, obviously, but artists, musicians, people who are really passionate about what they do, doctors, if they're passionate. My father was a physician, and he did it because he wanted the money because it was a way out of the poverty that he grew up in. So he wasn't really passionate about it. What he was passionate about was economics. He wanted to be an economist. And had he, not had to escape the poverty that he grew up in, he would not have been a physician. He would have been an economist. So it's, it's kind of surprising that it's, that people are paradoxically, like my father, choosing to pursue something that is innately just alien to him, or was to him, versus what he was truly passionate about. And my father died relatively young, by society's kind of measures. He was 73. So although he enjoyed some time in retirement, he died relatively young. And that to me is a sadness that, that I bear, because I always tell my children to pursue their dreams, not dollars. And in reality, sometimes I find myself really struggling with that concept. Yes, I have this home with lots of nice things in it, and they're just things. I sat earlier today outside in the sunshine out here in San Diego, and I was sitting on a chair that Suzanne and I bought about 5 months before she died. And I looked at the chairs and I saw how sturdy they were, and they're made out of metal and a bit of plastic and some, some sort of other man-made materials. And I thought to myself, will these things outlive me like they've outlived Suzanne? Because they are just things. They're just objects, right? What is it that I truly want to give to the world, to leave behind? What is my gift? What is it that truly compels me to get out of bed every morning? And to be honest, since Suzanne died, I've questioned that. I have questioned it a lot. What is it that compels me to get out of bed? Yeah, I have 3 daughters. I'm not going to lie. They are part of the reason that I get up every morning and that I wake up every morning and don't want to crawl into a shell and just, die. But that's, but again, innately within me, I know that I have a purpose, a deeper purpose and passion for living at this moment. And part of that is my desire to spread love and help people become the best versions of themselves, right? I've worked really hard on myself over these last sort of 6, 8, 12 months to try and be and become the best version of me, of Jeff, of the person that you see here. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I am the best version. I am a work in progress, like all of us, right? And as we sort of move towards this best version of ourselves, one of the things that I feel we must really grasp onto is that true meaning for each of us, right? One of the early talks that I gave, I talked about the red road and the black road. The black road being the easy path, the path of least resistance through life. And the red road is the road that really is driven by our passion and our purpose, right? Many artists and people who are truly passionate about what they do. I saw Will Powell was watching. I'm not sure if you're still on here, Will, but Will's a pilot and he's an instructor, and he's really passionate about flying and he loves it. And that's the sort of calling that he felt to be who he, the best version of Will. That's what it meant to him, was to be that person. And maybe it's partly because he stepped out of his comfort zone when he was younger and chose to learn how to be a pilot and really, really dug deep inside of himself to say, wow, this is really what I want to do. This is my passion. This is my purpose, is to teach others how to fly, right? Small planes or whatever. And yes, we all have a sort of passion somewhere deep inside of us. And the idea of trying to find some sort of meaning within our lives is about tapping into that passion, using our intuition, our gut, to determine, what it is that we are, meant to be doing while we're here. I see, I hope she's still on. I see Diana Lang has joined, and Diana, I know, is like me. She's a coach. She's a yogi. She's, a yoga instructor. She is, one of these people who is really passionate about what she does. And that drives everything around what, her life and her meaning, is in this existence. And I think we all have that. It's just a question of, what we choose, right? Do we choose the black road, which is the easy path, which is the punching a clock at the office, it's doing the mundane, it's, and it's rather a different example, but it's choosing to become a doctor to get out of poverty rather than choosing the passion of being an economist like you wanted to be all your life, right? That's what my father chose, right? You're welcome, Diana. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for joining me. And for me, my passion, my purpose is to help, is to love, is to give love and send it out into the ether, the universe, to all of you, to those of you who watch and participate every day, and who join me. And the thing is that it's all about doing the right thing for you, right? The right thing for you is what your purpose is. That's what brings meaning to our lives, is doing the right thing for you, and to love fully, to truly allow and embrace love to be part of your existence. It's about experiences, right? It's not about things. It's like what I was saying earlier about the chair. That chair will probably outlive me. So it's not about the chair. It's about what I want to leave behind, the messages, the love, the care, the concern for my community, my friends, my loved ones. That's my legacy. That's Suzanne's legacy to this world, right? It's about sort of embracing this much greater good that we can provide to the world just by making a tiny little difference, right? Gandhi once said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." So, that's what compels me to do these every day. Christy suggested that I do them, well over a month ago when we first started this. This is week 7 of doing this. So it's nearly 2 months that I've been doing these, and and I'm really hopeful that people who do come regularly are getting something out of it and are finding finding some sense in their own purpose and their own passion, and getting something, just maybe some new thoughts, new perspectives, new ways of thinking or approaching what's going on in life and around the whole shelter in place or work from home piece. Because let's face it, it can be lonely, it can be isolating, it can be, it is, stopping pain is an obstacle. It is, absolutely, Anthony. But we can't actually stop the pain. We can try and manage the pain. That's the key right there, is feeling what you have to feel first, and then try to manage the feelings behind that. Because the emotional pain that we're feeling, and that we sense, makes it really difficult. It shrouds almost everything that we do. And I know that feeling, Anthony. I know it very well from well over a year ago, when I was deep into the throes of the first year of grief after Suzanne died. And, it's partially, addressing what it is that you feel, and understanding that it's okay to feel that way, right? There's nothing, there's nothing wrong with it, right? There's no reason to label it or judge it. It is just how you feel. It is who you are. It's part of you. And that grief will always be part of you. It will, it will come in waves. And each day right now, it feels like it's an incessant tidal wave coming over you every single day. Eventually, those waves will start to go a little bit slower and get a little bit further between. And eventually, like me, I go for weeks or even months without feeling I wouldn't say months, but, weeks without feeling a real sense of deep grief. And this last week has been really powerful. And I don't know what triggered it. Maybe it was certain things that I had seen or read or watched on TV. In fact, my next blog post is partially about what I feel has been the trigger for my own recent wave of grief. And it was a pretty big tsunami. I mean, it was pretty big. It really knocked me for six last week. And that's a British saying for knocking the wind out of my sails, right? So, I've had to come back to kind of just appreciating each moment, right? And that's part of what I really feel, helps me to really stick with my passion and my purpose, right? Is to try and be in the moment. I'm not there all the time, and Christy can vouch for this very much so, because oftentimes we're talking and I get distracted, whether it's by my fur kids or texts or whatever, or my real kids, right? But I try to be in the moment almost all the time. Now, it's impossible. Even the Dalai Lama, he can't be in the moment all the time. However, when he is focused and when he is in say in a meditation or he's in a conversation, he will be 100% focused on that conversation or that meditation, right? And that is what I try to do. And I know, and since it's May the 4th, and May the 4th be with you all, by the way. Sorry, I hate that pun, but I love it too. Basically, like Yoda says, do not try, only do, right? So, or there is no try, only do. So if we only do what we are truly passionate about and really listen to our intuition and focus on our feelings and live in each moment, it's almost impossible not to find some meaning in your life, right? When I was sitting outside earlier and I talked about the chair being this thing, this object that will probably outlive me because it's outlived Suzanne, I actually sat there and said to myself, why can't I just do this every day? Why can't I just sit out here in the sunshine and enjoy it every day? And then I immediately thought to myself, but wait a minute. I am enjoying this moment in the sunshine. This is the moment, the only moment, and I'm here in this sunshine. So why dwell on the fact that I can't do it all the time, or I couldn't do it all of the day yesterday, or whatever? It's just that moment, right? And that's what Eckhart Tolle wrote in The Power of Now, right? There is only this moment. There's this moment that we are connected right now because you're watching me, I'm speaking with you. All of those of you who are watching, and I don't know exactly who's out there because I can't really see you. But there's this moment. And this is the only moment that we have, right? The past is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and only today or only right now is the gift, and that's why they call it the present. So by being present, by being in our selves right now, truly in ourselves, we are living our purpose and our passion, or we are living for that meaning, even if we don't understand it, right? And to be quite frank, I think the less we try to label it and manage it and understand it, the happier we will be, the happier we are as human beings. And I truly believe that that's the case. I've found, as I sat there in the sun, just before I came on Facebook, I mean, literally 10 minutes before I was on here, I was sitting out in the sun on that chair, and it just dawned on me that, this is the moment. This is now. This is what is truly happening in the now. And I could have been the only human being on the planet, even though I know I'm not. I'm one of 7 billion of us plus, right? But for that moment, I was the only human being. I was the only person there. And that is a profound thought when you think, well, there must be some meaning or there must be some purpose. And all I did was say, this is the moment right now, and I am in this moment with love and in this moment with care. And as long as that is the energy and the thought processes that I'm thinking and feeling, and the energy that I'm sharing with the universe, with all of you, that I'm living my purpose, I'm living my passion, I'm living my meaning, right? It's not about the traveling and going to see places that I want to see. It's not about the money that I want to make, or the bills that I need to pay, or anything like that. It's about that moment, right? And that's part of what I really wanted to get across today in terms of this, this search for meaning. Feelings are real, right? They're not easy to swallow, right? They're not easy to manage, but they are manageable, and we can control our emotions and our feelings. And if we can be in the moment, right, and breathe and just be, right, then we are actually being and becoming the best versions of ourselves, right? So, just a simple thing like sitting outside, and I know there are, people who are in the Midwest who are experiencing poor weather and don't want to sit outside or can't go for walks or whatever. Just yesterday, I spent a good portion of the day trying to find a trail to go walk on, but unfortunately all the parking lots are closed, so couldn't go to any of the trails that I wanted to go to. And then I drove out to the beach to see if I could just, park up and go on the beach, just for a walk along the beach. If I lived nearby, I don't know, say Carlsbad or Encinitas or someplace like that, and could walk to the beach, I probably could have gone on it. But there were no places to park again, and the beaches themselves were actually saying that they were closed. Parking lots were all fenced off and things like that. So, I was discouraged, but I did spend, an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours, driving around in the sunshine and just enjoying the fresh air. And it's the first time that I've been out, really out in and about, in a couple of weeks, other than, driving through town and going to the supermarket and back, for essential needs. But for me, yesterday was cathartic. It was really, really nice. And yeah, I think the whole idea of trying to find meaning, right, is a paradox, okay? There really, maybe there is no meaning. Maybe there is. But the reality is that if we try to find it, it's like looking for your car keys when you mislay them, right? You can never remember where you put them down. And eventually, when you stop thinking about it, you find them, right? That's the paradox that I think meaning in life is all about. the less we look for it, the more we find it, right? Or the more it finds us. And that's kind of where I feel, knowing what your passion and your purpose is, right? So internally, that's your internal compass, right? Your internal GPS that you're following, and it's your intuition, it's your heart driven passions and purpose. That's how you find your meaning. That's how you find meaning in your life. And like I say, if you appreciate your each moment, and you find little things that bring you joy, like just 10 minutes before I started, sitting outside in the sunshine, just embracing that moment. That was joy. That was a joyful moment for me, even though the thoughts leading up to that moment, finally just kind of clicking that, hey, I'm in this moment right now. But the thought processes leading up to that were, fear of not having any control, fear of, not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, fearing the unknown, the uncertainty of what's going on, and suddenly realizing, just that in that moment, that realization that I am just in that moment. And that in and of itself alleviated all of those worries and fears, just got rid of them all. They were all gone, just realizing that I was in that moment, and that it didn't matter whether I wasn't able to do it yesterday or if I'm not able to do it tomorrow. That's kind of where, my thought processes went, my sense, my intuition, my feeling, right? And it felt great. Just in that moment, it felt perfect. Okay? And yeah, I still dwell on things from the past, questions about, why my wife had to die, why, I'm here by myself, what is my purpose? What is my passion? What is my power on this earth? And, here, from right here, from my heart to you out there, that is my purpose, is to give what I have here, the love, the care, the passion, the concern. This is my gift. It's my gift to you. It's my gift to the world. It's this boundless, timeless energy source that I have deep inside of me, this powerhouse that keeps me alive. The center of my universe is my heart. And that is where I feel and offer this love from, right? Is from the center of my universe, this energetic source of my existence, or my existence here on earth anyway. So that's my gift, and it's my gift to you, and it's what to me is my meaning in life. So, with that all said, I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I just want you to know that my love to the universe, to you, is true and real, and I want you to hopefully sense that, and I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and will be able to join me again tomorrow on Tuesday for the next in my series, where I'm going to talk a little bit about that, almost like that moment that I was in just before coming on, where I got into the present moment, and chose an affirmation to say, well, all there is now, right? So let's just enjoy this moment right now. That's an affirmation, right? So I'll talk a little bit about affirmations and how those work, and I'm not going to blow sunshine. It's not all about affirmations. It's not all about, positivity and things like that. We've had that discussion before, but there is a sense of knowing and finding this meaning by using, affirmations to reinforce what it is that you're feeling, and making, that change in you, right? Get out into the world, force that energy out into the world and into the universe. And affirmations help you do that. And I will, talk a little bit about what I did to change my thinking a few months ago. That I found really helpful. It really skyrocketed not just my self-esteem and my self-worth, but how I approach each and every day. So anyway, I hope you can join me again tomorrow. I want to thank you all very much for joining me today. Happy Monday. May the 4th be with you. Sorry, punny as that is, I do actually enjoy it. And I hope that you will, maybe dig deep into your own heart and think, let your heart do your thinking, is what I was trying to say. Let your intuition take over for a while and learn to trust it. Learn to get in touch with it and trust it. Anyway, thank you all very much. Anthony, yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I was very privileged to have her for so long in my life. And, I appreciate the sentiment that you feel that she was privileged to have me. Sometimes I did wonder about that when I was married with her, and when we were together. But yes, thank you very kindly. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Join me again tomorrow, 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, for the next broadcast. Thank you for joining me today. Bye for now.